All right, dude, tell us who you are and what you're doing.
Okay, so my name is Sean Gettings. I work for the Shoshone National Forest. I'm the North Zone Assistant Fire Management Officer. And we're just out here burning piles that we did some mechanical treatments on a couple years ago. So all the treatments in here that you see, we cut a bunch of juniper for bighorn sheep enhancement project. And so bighorn sheep like to be able to see a little better. And so it's all kind of visual line of sight. So junipers are a lower bush, and so they can't see predators in it. So we come in places, we have this portion, and we have a whole bunch more further up the road that we've either contracted out or we cut ourselves. And so we come in, we build these piles by hand, and then we'll come back in and burn them when we get snow, so they can't go anywhere. And we try to just get rid of the brush that's there and material out.
So how many piles do you think you'll end up burning today?
So in the campground area here, we have probably close to 100. We have a whole nother group of guys up the road that there's over 600 piles in this corridor that have been cut in the last couple years. So we're chasing as many as we can get while we have snow.
Oh, that's awesome.
So snow doesn't stay in the South Fork real long most of the time. So when we get a storm, we got to kind of capitalize on it.
Okay, awesome. Sweet.
So this is a drip torch. It's just kind of standard equipment for us. So it's a mix of gas and diesel, 3 parts diesel, 1 part gas. And so it'll stay lit. It comes out, and this little thing is called a wick, and it just stays lit, and you can pour a little bit of fuel over it. And as that fuel comes out, it lights on fire, and then it just drops that lit fuel onto our piles. And so it's a really simple tool and works wonders for what we do.
That's awesome. Yeah, okay, cool.
Okay, so basically when we get to a pile, we just look for somewhere that we can get a little bit of heat established. We try to get the piles within a couple years of cutting them, so there's still fine fuels in there that'll take really well. Drop a little bit of fuel in and just kind of let it start doing its thing. Once it burns down a little bit, we'll come back in and throw any material that didn't catch on fire back into it. So our goal is 90% consumption of all the material.
Do you have to worry about like this fire getting out of control and spreading, or is the snow enough to?
No, typically that's why we kind of have the prescriptions that we do. So every burn we do, we have to have certain prescriptions to meet. So all our piles have to have snow on the ground, and then we just kind of come in and check them. And so yeah, no, pile burning is pretty low key.
Okay.
For that kind of stuff.
And a prescription, is that like a weather forecast, or is that like a conditions, or?
So it's kind of a combination of factors. For piles, we have to have a certain amount of snow, and then we have to have weather coming in, which we're meeting both right now because we have more storm coming today.
Okay.
And then some of our bigger burns have certain weather forecast parameters, winds and temperature, humidities, all that come into play as well. But for piles, we don't have a whole lot to it.
Nice. Okay. So you guys do whole fields and stuff like that too, ditches and?
We do, yeah. We do, we call it broadcast burning, so it's a larger landscape burn.
Okay. Okay, so we're out here, like, the heat is unbelievable. It's 12 degrees out here. I mean, I was cold before we got started. There's just fires raising everywhere. It's got to be 60 degrees in this little area. It feels amazing. I'm ready to take this jacket off. So I've seen a couple of these trees catch on fire. Primarily, let me get my finger out. So primarily this one up here, wherever it is, over here, this tree. I've seen it catch on fire a couple times, and it goes out within a minute, just like they say. See a couple branches and some needles burn, it flares up, and then it goes right out. If I were out here doing this, I'd burn this whole forest down. Like, these guys know what they're doing a great job. I really appreciate them letting me follow along and see what's happening here. So, it is warm. So, not only are they not burning down the forest, they're also not burning down a couple structures that are here. Shout out to Hidden Creek Outfitters. I don't know who they are. They just happen to have a base camp here. So Wyoming, you can rent base camps from the Park Service, or not the Park Service, excuse me, Game and Fish. So that just happens to be where we're at right now. So, I mean, they built this fire right next to this fence. The fence isn't on fire. It's warm, but it's not on fire. And I mean, right there, if they got corrals, 5 feet away, there's a giant raging fire. I mean, these guys have this down to a science. They're just keep on burning down the way. So I'll keep getting footage. Okay, so here we can see them doing a process called chunking. So basically what happens, the outer edges of the fire where the snow is doesn't burn. So basically they have to go back around to each pile and take anything that didn't burn, throw it back in on itself. It's sort of like a fire pit at home, they tell me. So you just sort of grab whatever unburned or semi-burned material and you flip it back into the fire and sort of keep it going. Now occasionally they'll have a few that don't burn all the way and they actually go out, so they have to come back and sort of chunk those and then relight them from scratch. So some piles will get burned twice, some piles will get burned once, but they'll all get this chunking process where they go around and collect it all. So they tell me by the spring that all of the burn piles will actually be gone and unnoticeable. So the ash gets absorbed right into the ground with a good rain or with a good snowfall. And then additionally, the trees and the type of trees that are out here, I want to say maybe they're juniper, I'm not really sure, but they apparently reseed really well. So this heat really helps them fire off and reseed, and then clearing out all this brush gives the seedlings room to grow and get up and out. So they say by the springtime, you won't even know this ever happened. Big shout out to the U.S. Forest Service. I really appreciate the guys letting me come along on this little adventure. So this was super cool to see. I've driven past situations like this before, but I've never gotten to be part of it. The little torch thing's pretty awesome. I kind of want one now. Babe, don't get mad at me if I burn up the yard. But I wanted to give you guys a shot. Sort of, this is what one of the piles look like. It's just about burned out. There's not much left. There's just a few little embers kind of going, and they all look about the same. It's amazing to me that they can come in here and they can burn these piles just in the middle of trees. There's brush sticking out. There's grass to me that looks dry enough to burn, but nothing burned but what they sort of targeted. So it's super cool. Like, I mean, what these guys are doing is awesome. So it's definitely helping the sheep, which are on my bucket list to shoot. Hopefully I get a tag this year. Wink wink if you guys have any pool. But yeah, Sean was great. Really appreciate him taking the time to explain everything to us. Yeah. Face is freezing and my hands are really cold. I've been playing with the drone. Hopefully the footage is all right, we'll see. But so yeah, I'll run around and I'll get some more shots of some of these remaining burn piles and walk you guys through that. But it's really impressive. All in all, great day. I appreciate them letting me tag along. Didn't take them long. They moved through this really quick. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If you do, throw some comments down in the comments section. Like, subscribe. It really helps the channel. And we'll try to bring you some more of this cool footage. All right.